Welcome to the From Wounds to Wisdom podcast with your host, Barbie Moreno, where we dive into people's past and discover what wounds they incurred and how they transformed those wounds into wisdom to help themselves and others. The From Wounds to Wisdom podcast. This is your host, Barbie Moreno, and today's guest is all about bold energy, big mindset shifts, and living life with Moxy. Rhonda Liebig is a mindset coach, author, and host of Fresh Talks Global Vision. With over 15 years in media and coaching, she helps people break free from old patterns, calm their nervous system, and step into their power. She's on a mission to spark real change, personally and globally, through energy work, vitality coaching, and unapologetic authenticity. Let's welcome Rhonda and get into what it means to be truly live, energized, aligned, and bold. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Barbie. I love that intro. I'm feeling like a superstar, at least for a moment here. No makeup. We're just talking through the heart. I appreciate you. Thank you.
I love that. And before we started, we kind of had a little side conversation about the fact that we're both intuitive people. And being intuitive people and being in coaching and being in this world, previously we had to kind of hide this part of us, right? But now we feel empowered. And I think it's important for us to be empowered in that intuitiveness because it is who we are.
I used to think it was something to hide from. And I'd say even the last year, I've gotten more open to it because I was a CPA accountant, corporate, black and white. And then when I started in this industry about 17 years ago, it was like something happened, and it just opened me up. And I was like, shh. But with my clients, though, I know it helped them, but they helped me first by me having some clients that were just highly intuitive. And I was like, that seems normal to me. And it just helped me lean into it more.
And so I know that you shifted from being a CPA to what you're doing now. Did
Yeah.
you have the podcast is From Wounds to Wisdom. What shifted that for you? Where did you go from that world of being very analytical and all of that into this beautiful person that you are today?
Well, I love that. I love feeling beautiful because I know you're talking about the inside and the aura of that. God, there's so many stories when you start talking like this because I'm just thinking of like so many different things. But the story I do want to share today is around the time that I started this accounting CPA stuff. This is the point where I met my love that I've been married to now for 27 years. And the feeling that everything should be fabulous because I was so excited.
Yeah.
But I was going into an industry that now I realize, like even though I wanted to be masculine my whole life, I thought if I was protected as a man, like strong, that nobody would hurt me.
Right.
And I came in that way in life consistently since I was younger about wanting to one up people like in a masculine way, like you curled that if we were in the gym. Oh, I can do more. Or you did that in the yard. I can do that too. And it didn't matter how big the person was, how strong they were, but it was this feeling that I had to keep myself safe. And I was in that space when I first started my career in accounting, first meeting this man that I love so much. But I wasn't feeling as empowered as I thought that if I look back and I go, if this was the right alignment, I would have just been like free flow, everything would be great. But what happened was I ended up on thyroid medicine. And I noticed that I wasn't really speaking my truth at that time. I could have shared more about how I was afraid of certain things that were going on. I was afraid of having this love that I never thought about marrying anybody at all. And all of a sudden it was like just this natural, easy thing. But in my back of my head, I was in torture. I was scared. I was breaking out in hives. I didn't know how to manage life of my heart being exposed. I wasn't used to it naturally being open. It was like open, close, open, close. And it was just based on my atmosphere. What mask am I going to wear? And I wore a mask when I started in my accounting industry because I wanted to be masculine. There were more men in there, even though more women were coming in. But I wanted to make sure that I never showed that I didn't know how to do something. So I would work extra, extra hard, extra, extra hours. I would just kind of kill myself and be working until really, really late, studying all the time, because I thought that if I zip it up and I present myself in a way where, like, exterior, okay, I'm gonna look as perfect as I can be. I'm gonna buy the clothes that I need to buy. I'm gonna act the way I do. I'm gonna watch how other people act so I can act like that. And it's like this whole, robotic thing. So I ended up on thyroid medicine because I wasn't speaking my truth. And we're talking, holistic here today. We just
Right.
started that. And so I was muffled so much and it was a very high time because there were so many things coming at once that were so wonderful, but I wasn't knowing how to
Embrace them.
authentically
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
And so I stayed on medicine for 20 years. And that whole time, I wanted to speak my truth, but the medicine was saying, don't worry about it. The medicine has your back. And so I somehow, if we think about energetics about this,
Yeah.
somehow for some reason, when I stopped taking it 10 years ago, I literally felt a veil come off me where I could breathe, but I knew that I had to get in truth right away, or, not being on thyroid medicine, it takes care of every part of your body.
Right.
That was my pivot, though, to start speaking my truth, listening to it, and really feeling my pain, the pain of not speaking, to finally flowing. And I felt all the wounds that I was feeling growing up, and how that calculated throughout my whole life. And I started unwinding it and unpacking it. It changed my world, where I feel soft and love, and I feel love consistently. My goal is to look at my family, my kids, my hubby. How much more can I infuse love into that?
Yeah.
Because I missed so many years of open, close, open, close. So there's like this wound that just keeps healing and healing. And I think even if I live to be 100, I'll still be like, clearing it,
Of
because
course.
I think we're just ever growing and there's never a ta-da moment. I really appreciate that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not always conforming and changing and growing, what's the point, right? But I understand your story because I too conformed to a male-dominated industry. I worked in corporate, and I changed who I was to fit in with what, they thought somebody like me should be. And so, you turn, you have a wall up, you change the way that you speak, you do all of these different things that are not authentic. But I think that that's very common for business women in particular,
Mhm.
because again, most of those fields are male dominated. And so if you show your femininity, if you show your emotions, then you're kind of like, oh, she's like that emotional girl, you know what I mean? And so you're not taken seriously. I
Yeah.
want to ask you, so you talk about your thyroid and the fact that once you started empowering yourself and using your voice, you no longer needed the thyroid medication. And a lot of people are going to be like, I don't understand the correlation between the two. So can you tell us like one, how you figured that out, and then two, we don't want people just going off their thyroid medication, right? But how did you correlate that one, equaled basically the other?
I didn't know it at the time, but I was a health coach. I've been a health coach for 15 years. I've been in the health industry and cumulatively about 25 years. And so I didn't think of that, but in some ways I did. I'm like, oh, okay, if I get off my medicine, and that's probably as far as I got. You know what I mean? Like, I was scared. It's like I didn't get to the next step. If I get off my medicine, you should do this. So how you connect those is that if you're not speaking your truth, that means it slows your body down. You have a slower metabolism. When you get in a situation that is not serving you, I even look at tongues, just like the flow of your tongue really says a lot about what's going on in your body. You
Right.
should have more white on your tongue, like you're stagnant in energy. And so I started looking at my tongue more because that was something I learned in health coaching.
Yeah.
And I got in deeper with my tools. Now, I knew that my mind was doing something that was affecting me because I started looking at like my timeline in general. It started giving me an understanding. If I open up my mind and my voice to this new person that wants to come out, that's been here all the time, that's been hiding, I can see every bout when I was feeling sick, when I'd pass out, and there was these incidents that happened. So, okay, so my mind now, if I connect that, that means I'll feel more free. That means my whole system, my endocrine system, my chakras, my energy cycles, however you want to see that, I started opening up more. But wait, I gained 60 pounds almost overnight. Now I'm a health coach and 60 pounds extra. How do I step into that? So, what I looked at is okay, mindset. But what about what else? Okay, I need to stop having pizza with the kids once a week. Not before I'd be like, oh, well, my body can handle that. And it's like, yeah, but I mean, energetically, am I really attracted to that food? Because my big goal is this. This actually sounds a little sexier if I go, here, my kids have that. I'm gonna have a really good, whatever it was. Because sexy to me felt like I'm putting energy in my body down to the cell level, and my kids get to enjoy that because pizza's wonderful certain times. At that though, without taking medicine, come on, Rhonda, let's get in there deep. So I got in deeper with those tools and I started not working out so much because I was overworking out
Yeah.
because I started working out when I was 14 and it was just one of those things I did. And I go, how can I slow things down? I literally did all of that. That package, it got me deeper into what I was doing with my health coaching clients, which is great, but it got me to see me and really have the empathy of what I was doing. So all those kind of came together. That's how that connects.
Yeah, I mean, in my online course and my coaching, I also talk about slowing down. Like, there's everybody does cardio and they don't understand that actually stresses out your system more. And then you get more cortisol and then you gain weight and they don't understand.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the practices that I teach are somatic. So a lot of people don't know what somatic is, but it's basically moving the energy in the body through different movement or yoga. I mean, you can do cardio, but you don't do cardio every day, right? You have to take care of your body in other ways. And I think that that's part of the healing process. So it's amazing that you also understood that because we're just taught do cardio.
Did you ever call yourself cardio queen? Like it just was
Oh
like
no, I
around,
was
like,
never one
if you
of
do
those.
tons of
I was never, I
cardio
did
queen,
not
that's
need to prove myself in the gym. I could care less.
long as I was proving myself, cardio queen meant to me is like that's all I wanted to do is cardio. Like that is my center. And I love, like I said, sexy. I mean, I love queen love because I don't think of it as ego. I think of it as like we are all leveled up. We just don't understand. So
Yeah.
there's no ups or higher level or anything. So when I use those words, it's interchangeable for anybody.
Yeah.
But I was very focused on cardio and now it's not like that. So I love that you're doing that work too because the movement of the body,
Yeah.
if I can go here for a moment, if we pull the stress off our body, our nervous system is known to create pharmaceuticals. So that's
Yes.
where you get the protein, that's where you get the repairing of the cells, that's where you get to release all the old cells. Yeah, well, we can go on with that, but I don't want to go too far. But our body knows how to take care of ourselves. So why are we beating it up? We don't need to do that.
Right. That's about but you have to feel worthy before all of this, right? So if you don't feel like you're enough, if you don't feel like you're worthy, if you're living in your past and your childhood trauma and all of those different things, you're
Yeah.
not going to be able to do these things. So I believe that the first step is really establishing your worthiness and knowing that you're born worthy and you're born enough. And then everything else is just, experiences.
I hear you. Yeah. I think about that. I think about connection also. Like, because why are you not going to beat yourself up? Because you think, well, if I stay up late because I get everything done, it's like proving yourself to people. And you
Right.
go, isn't that what I'm supposed to be doing? But
Hmm.
I guess you're right. When you feel the worthiness, it's like that connection and understanding that if I get connected with this is what my goal is here, and I feel safe in it. Like
Yeah.
I feel safe. So it means I'm going to get results. So I always think of like, how can I share maybe a testimonial or something so somebody feels like, okay, I'm going to try this. I feel uncomfortable because I'm so used to doing whatever the extreme is.
Right.
Let's just try it. Let's even try it for a week. And I love to be a coach because you get to help somebody actually see the difference. So even if it's 10%, we're just talking 1 week,
Right.
that somebody would think they would be a failure, but you go, here, wait. And one of my first book is called The Fit Solution and it's with a double T. That last T is about celebrating. So when you even get 1%, it's way different than if you did nothing at all. So
Yeah.
sometimes we don't get to the full vision. Sometimes it's, mapping it out. So that celebration is really important. So people can look at even within 24 hours what a change can be.
Right.
That's what I think about when I
And
you
I
got people
think
moving
people
forward.
expect big change really fast, right? That's why there's all of these like, quick diets and all of these other
Yeah.
different things that never really last. But then also that has to do with, the nervous system doesn't change overnight. The physical body doesn't change
Yeah.
overnight. The mindset doesn't change overnight. The routines, the patterns, all of these different things that we've had our entire life, we've taken all of these years to develop them. They're not going to change overnight. And then people give up. So when you're doing your coaching, how do you keep people from giving up?
I love on them, I think. It really is because people aren't used to being loved on. I very seldom get people that have been in that space or they've been loved on a lot. So we get the opportunity to be in quiet space with them and when they're not showing up, how can I get into that space with them so that they can really just have a smile for a
Yeah.
moment, even because I had somebody the other day that was like totally cut off in the head and has is known as a love bug, a very nice person, but something happened within 7 days since last time I saw them. And so, how do you get somebody that is not connected with their body, their heart, but they're just speaking like this, but they are like in logic, like, no, I do that because of this, I do that because of that. And I'm like, here, this is a different person than what I saw even 7 days ago. So it's building that trust with somebody
Yeah.
so you can actually call them out so they don't feel like they're smacked across the face. You're like, hiya. And then, but some people that have been with me for a while, I can do that and they go, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's not like attacking somebody. It's just that your words, you get to be more straight up. But people who you just start working with, when they get shifted off that way, you're just dancing around, just making sure where the opening is. And it's just through words and also like energy work. You're just kind of feeling their flow to make sure that you pivot them because they won't want to be with you if you can't change that atmosphere that they came in on. They're just going to be angry. And so I've had that too at the beginning. I was like, people are leaving me, and I go, what? It's not my fault. And then I thought, oh, ego,
Yeah.
open up your heart, Rhonda, prepare yourself for the day because this is actually bigger than what you originally thought a health coach can be. Now I'm a business coach because of, my background, just these things are happening. So I think it has to do with love and
Yeah.
nurturing and safety.
Do you deal with a lot of people who are stuck in their past trauma?
Mhm. I think everybody is.
Yeah, I mean everybody has a story, right?
Yeah, but it's like we're not therapists. So we don't like go muddle in the back and go, okay, let's do this. Let's talk about this. It's like you don't have to. It's like when
Right.
somebody's moving forward, if they say something, they're safe enough to say it.
Yeah.
So you just are listening and you go, you see how that, oh yeah. And then they may be sad for a while because they're clearing it, but they finally get to hear it. So everybody's in it just depending on what level. And I find that I used to think that money was tethered on like your healing space because I was like, I'm gonna make more money as soon as I clear myself more. And I'm like, oh, that doesn't work that way. I have to relax, not
Yeah.
be my old corporate self, like to do black and white list, but to really feel everything is energy.
Yeah.
So if I keep going in with energy with people, it doesn't matter what level they're in, it just I know I think Barbie, you're gonna say the same, but maybe in a different way. But I just can feel where somebody is, or like even the words and the phrases they
Right.
say that I go, oh yeah, they're really stuck, but they don't see it. Oh, this is great opportunity to talk about words and framing, but also kind of let them breathe, get them some space, not be on them so much as
I
you're
want
trying to hold that space.
And I want to talk about money because often money is one, it's, what people are driven by, but they don't understand that there is an emotional attachment to the money, usually proving yourself, trying to, show that you're enough, scarcity, there's not enough money in the world.
Yeah.
And I have found through my self-worth and work is that money really only abundance, because you can get money and abundance and, abundance doesn't only include money, right? But if
Yeah.
you honestly honor yourself and live the life that's aligned with you, it always just seems to come.
Yeah.
You
It
you don't have to
really is
work so
energy.
hard for it.
Exactly. I mean, you could work a lot of hours and not feel like you're working hard because sometimes you want to work a lot of
Right.
hours, so to do different things, but it doesn't mean you're going to bring more money in. It's like understanding, like I thought people were hoity-toity. That person thinks they're better than somebody
Right.
else, like all those kinds of things. So clearing that kind of stuff and knowing when it shows up. But really, if you're doing your work, and I'm also playing with my calendar with this, which means my calendar is based on, who's on my schedule, how many clients I have, and stuff like that. So I even play with my calendar now spiritually. I'll see some people back to back, and I go, that
Feel
doesn't
right.
seem to work, that energy. And
Right.
somehow, and this has been like just the past month. And so somehow somebody moves and goes to another day and it works. And I just go, Rhonda, hands off your calendar,
Yeah.
hands off, let the flow happen. And so it's been really magical going into that. That is where money gets introduced. And I was just interviewing somebody a couple hours ago. And when you're with people that need help, you know how to have that conversation. You're not a vulture. You're not trying to make money off of somebody. I have my show. It helps me bring in leads, but I don't think of them as leads. I'm like, I want to know the human condition. I want to experience something with somebody. But if I find that, hey, you have like 5 things you're talking about, how can we bring that together? I can help you. And the funny thing is, this person I interviewed a couple hours ago, we have another appointment on the calendar and we don't know why it's there. We go, well, why is the 21st on there? Like, and I said, so do you want to use that? We can connect because we already started to talk about it. And I go, dang, that calendar is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I always schedule personal time. Like there Tuesdays I don't talk to anybody, right? Like Tuesdays are my day, especially because I'm a mom and on the weekends are my children's time, like basketball games, water polo, all of those different things so you don't get any personal time. So I really feel like it's important for us whatever day works for you or if it's just a, certain hour of the day to take time to re-energize and to heal. And if you don't do that, then you're running on no energy, right? So you're actually going into energy depletion, going into the negative. There's a speaker who talks about that. But if you're in the negative on your energy, you're never going to be your best self.
Oh my gosh, Barbie, can we talk about that? That I know we're getting close to the end here, but you know, um, I feel like we are speaking about alignment.
Hmm.
If I'm depleted, and this is what I've been discovering, and I want to partner with you on this thing is alignment. I have so much energy, everything
Right.
flows. I can be doing 10-hour days, but it's just like I get more and more energy as the day goes because the alignment of what I'm doing, I go, okay, that was a good day. Why? Why did I have that energy that day? And I think of it that way. So if I'm feeling depleted, I go back to, okay, what's happening? Where is there not alignment? And I
Right.
look in health too, and I go, okay, so you have an acid reflex. Let's talk about that. Where's that? So you know what I mean? I kind of like map things out on not how many hours I am working or somebody is working and why they're exhausted. It gets more into alignment to me.
And I
Yeah.
think like I don't know about you, but there will be people that I dread, right? So like I'm like, oh, I scheduled a lunch with that
Dang.
person. Man, like I shouldn't have scheduled a lunch with that person because I really don't enjoy our time together. And so I've been eliminating those. If I look at the calendar and you're on my calendar and I'm dreading hanging out with you or dreading talking to you or even dreading coaching you, right?
Yeah.
I have to take you out of my energy because you are sucking my energy away. And there's only, I need to protect my space. And if I'm dreading you, there's obviously not an alignment. It means other people might be aligned with you, but maybe I'm not. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think of frequency, we were talking about all this spiritual stuff. And when you start pulling people away, it's just kind of like you just end up meeting people. Like Barbie, I thought that we're supposed to be together, and I get curious because then that means I'm in the right alignment. If I keep working on my heart, I keep doing my morning work, I just hands off, let's trust in the divine that everything is good. And that means Barbara needs to be in my life for this interview, or there might be something in the future, and I don't have to make it up. It's just, let's just keep being curious.
Yeah. And
Because
I'm
the
going to be on your podcast.
people that block you, they really mess you up. It's like,
Yeah, and you can feel it. You can feel it draining you, right? Same thing with activities. Like if you're putting activities on your calendar and you're dreading them,
yeah.
either you need to look at like why am I dreading them, or is there something that's not aligned with me? But I am going to be on your podcast, so can you tell us a little bit about your podcast so that it can kind of introduce people to your podcast, what you talk about, and then they can check out your podcast.
Barbie, I thought I was going to act like a 7-year-old and do this. Yay, yay, yay. to get that out. Okay, so mine is called Fresh Talks Global Vision. I've been doing this kind of stuff for about 8 years. I used to travel with people and have, videographers and do all these things. And so I love playing. As you see, the way I'm dressed, I love dressing like this. It just makes me feel so fun and just playful. And that's what kind of the show is about. It's a way to say, hey, you can be whoever you want. I call it hashtag speaker locking arms, that you're going to be on the show. We get to lock arms and express what you are doing with your clients and what you're doing even within your own camp yourself. Because how, if you saw people do that in a trajectory, how could that change the human experience?
Yeah.
And I like to talk about this, like that vision, because what we're doing here, if we take a step back, as I think about this show, we're really bringing in mindset transformation entertainment. And that's what I want. I want you to come and play and just be yourself and experience what you want to experience. And I will be there just guiding and listening and making sure that we get into like locking arms. And my thing is about stopping the blaming and shaming, which
Yeah.
means allow yourself to be yourself. Allow, and this is another thing I had to learn, to stop having control over somebody. Having a husband for 27 years,
Yeah.
that he would say something, I'd be like, oh, and I just get into all these things. And I go, here, wait, that is control. It's me being irritated. No, that's not irritation, even though people will call it that. And so the show is about, if we keep playing all in alignment, that we're going to find even the closest people we have to us, that we're going to be able to be all as one, so we can make a bigger trajectory out there. That's really what the show is about. It sounds kind of grayish and playish, but
No,
that's
I
what
love it. And the blaming and the shaming, all that does is keep you stuck. Right? It just keeps you stuck, like blaming other people. Look, everybody has their experiences. They do what they do for a reason, whether it's survival, self-protection, whatever the case. But
yeah.
you are ultimately in charge of your own life, right? I mean, obviously, you want to trust in something that's a higher power, in my opinion, but you're in charge of your life. So to blame other people or to shame yourself for decisions that you made in the past when you didn't know better, Maya Angelou, when we know better, we do better, right? Love her. And so I think that that's such an important topic. And I look forward to people being able to go to your podcast and listen to your previous people. And obviously would love them to listen to me. But I am sure that you
Of
have a
course.
vast history of amazing conversations. Can you
Yeah.
tell us how people can get a hold of you, or if they're more interested in what you do? Do you have a website? Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do have all of that. You could go to my Rhonda Liebig. Oh, my tree. So you can go to my tree and find different things. So it's my name, Rhonda Liebig, Liebig. You'll see it there, .com/tree.
Okay.
And on there, you can find out about my fun little Rhonda Lou Moxy show, which is free, but just Monday kicking it off for the week, to the show, to free events I have, to
Yeah.
those kinds of things. And you can just kind of check out what you want to come and play with me with.
Yes, love that. And I'm going to include, I checked out your Instagram and your TikTok. You have like over 10,000 people. I'm like, how the heck did you do that?
Yeah, it's just, it's constant playing and like literally locking arms with people. And social media is about friendships, and like you're just playing in your communities to make sure, like community meaning, I follow a few people and I make sure that I'm talking with them because I know they're love bugs and they're in alignment. So that's what it's about. It's not, but comparison, all those kinds of things that can kind of be negative. People are afraid to get
Right.
out and promote and do those things. But yeah, I think that's how we keep growing.
I love that you love love. That's
Oh,
such a like silly thing to say, but really, like I love that you love love. Love is it's everything. Self-love, love for every, understanding, compassion, empathy,
yeah.
love.
Barbie, when I started making that change in the love area, my brain, because of being quiet and learning about myself and how this was like a natural thing, but it was just kind of covered up, that I heard my brain say, you are lying, you're a fool, nobody really cares about love, because in the past, that's why I closed it.
Yeah.
But also to start loving on things, it looks kind of phony if you haven't done it. And it can look phony because it's uncomfortable at first.
Right.
But I just kept feeling, this is what makes me feel safe.
Yeah.
That's all I kept thinking about. So how could love make me feel safe? Is because intuitively I could hear who was in front of me or what group I was in. And that was better than closing off and trying to get scared in the brain, like everybody's doing this or looking at me this way, whatever
Right.
that is. So love is the safest place.
And it's not taught enough. It's not taught in schools. It's not taught in the workplace. It's actually looked down upon if you're too, lovey-dovey or too connected to people, because I feel like some people just simply can't accept it. So they're almost turned
Yeah.
off by it because they haven't learned how to accept love and how to receive love.
I don't know if I would be able to receive somebody like me, at 29 years old. I would have been all,
You crazy old lady, right?
I
Like
think
it
I'm
doesn't matter what
crazy.
your age is. If
Oh,
you're
that's just
ever
so
40,
phony.
then
That's what
you're
I'd say.
old.
Yeah, that's just so phony. But that's what I love about it is that you just keep moving forward. And it's okay what people think.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right, because I've been there and I've done other things like what you said, just forgive yourself. And the more you forgive yourself, the more you expand because
Yes.
you'll do foolish things. I mean, you're like, oh, yeah, that was foolish. Or you'll be mean for a moment. You go, yeah, that was mean. No, don't do that again. Let's have a conversation with so and so
Yeah.
because that was okay.
Yeah. We're always learning and growing. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate having you on the show. I will put all of your links in the description, and I look forward to being on your show as well.
I can't wait till we play some more, Barbie. Thank you. I appreciate the time here and being silly, but really being grounded in the stuff we talked about because I enjoy play, but the good stuff behind all that is that we had a good conversation. I appreciate it.
I agree. And I think that anybody that is able to be coached by you is very well taken care of.
My heart just is a whoop.
All
Thank you.
right, Rhonda, thank you.